All right guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing briquettes and we're making them out of grass. So what you're going to need for this, and this will not make a full run for our 4 press here, is a full packed 5-gallon bucket of semi-dried grass is best, a quarter of a 5-gallon bucket of shredded paper, newspaper. Now you can do it without the paper, but they almost always try to fall apart on you. So generally I like to add the paper in as a binder. Obviously you need water, and then you'll need some kind of press. Now you don't have to use a bought press like ours. You can make them out of just about anything. I actually did a giant briquette video where I did 2 square buckets, just drilled holes in the bottom one and sat on it and like pushed the bucket inside the other bucket with the material and squeezed it out. Millions of homemade stuff online you can see, but this is just off Amazon. This is a 4 press. They do have a single press one that's a little bit cheaper. Just depends on what you want to do. You can actually make them in your hands and make a baseball size or softball size and let them dry. That works too. But you also need something to mix with. Now, a regular paint mixer is fine. I just put blades on mine. It mixes it faster. I know it's dangerous. I know it looks like something out of like a Mad Max movie, but it mixes it faster for the videos. So, and it throws shit everywhere, which is cool. Now, we're gonna get all this together on the ground. You're gonna see us mix it up. We're gonna press it out, and then I'm gonna put it in the kiln to dry. Now, everybody asks me how long these take to dry. I don't know, depends on what time of year it is, if you got it out in the sun, if you got it next to the wood burner. Put it out in the sun every day in the summer for like a week, flipping them, they're gonna be dry in no time. You put them out in the fall, when it's like moist and cold every morning, you're probably not gonna dry very fast. You put them next to your wood burner, it depends on how close. I don't really know. In the kiln, it's going to take about 3 or 4 days to get them dry, and then I will come back and we will do a burn test with a time, so make sure you watch to the end. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and pour some water in. Fill it up about, I don't know, half, 5/8. Then we're going to start adding this grass in and pushing it under. First, pushing it under is nice because it reduces the dust. Now that I've got about half of it in there, I'm going to start mixing, and then I'll add more as we go. All right, now the mix is drying out some, so we're going to add some more water. And we'll go ahead and push some more grass down in there. Any chunks I'm pulling out that feel like they might have something else in them. All right, that looks pretty consistent. Let's start filling the press. Okay, now for those of you who don't know, this is the ram of the press. These are the baskets with holes so it can drain the water out. Technically these handles are supposed to be to push it down, but I don't do that. I actually have a press to push this down, but we're gonna do it the old school way. I'm gonna put it down and stand on it to squeeze the water out, which is what you would probably do if you owned this. So I'm gonna take the mixture and start filling the trays. Now, like I said, I don't think we're gonna fill all 4 of these because this stuff compresses down a lot. But that might affect our burn time. Might be pretty interesting to see. Now you can recapture your water if you live in a low, place without a lot of water. Just put a bucket under it and it would catch it. So I'm not trying to push it down in there and pack it yet. I don't want it completely full because it may just block the ram from going down. Now the burn time at the end is going to be the interesting part of this, I think. So we're catching our water, it's going down in another bucket right now. So we're not being wasteful. I know some of you are probably in like Arizona or New Mexico or somewhere that's more arid region and watching, or maybe you're over in India and you're like, oh my God, he's wasting water. Okay, so it looks like we might have more here than I thought. But they're gonna squish down to next to nothing. I mean, that's just a fact because there's not a lot of, gonna be a lot of airspace left in this biomass when it's all pressed out. Just because it can, you know, push down together so tightly. And if you haven't seen some of our other videos, you should go check them out. We've got them on coffee, we've got them on sawdust and wood chips. We've got giant briquettes, like long burn ones. All right, I think we got most of it here. So I like to try and go through and kind of clean where the ram sits along these edges. It just makes it easier to set it. Then you take your ram, line it up. And we're not trying to get in a hurry, guys. This is an experiment. You would be building this for production if you were actually going to try and, you know, make a lot of these. So what I do is I just push it down by hand. I wait and let the water run out of it. And then we're going to put it on the ground. I'm going to stand on it and press the rest of the way out. Now the important part is getting these as close to here as possible, because that's where it stops. It can't go any lower than that. If you don't fill them enough, it'll just go down to there, but it won't have pressed it enough to compact it. So it's important that you make sure you fill them up and then push them down. All right, let's get to stepping on this thing. So this part's pretty simple. Get on it and just wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Now that went down extremely easy, which is not a great sign. You could always pull the ram out and put more mixture in and then press it again if you wanted a bigger, tighter block. But all things considered, I think we're good to go. All right. Let's pull it out. And there we are. All right, so now that we've got the ram out of it, what you do is you grab the sides, you put your thumbs on the next one, and use your fingers to pull up. And that's going to create your briquette and pull it out smooth as possible. And then you just turn them sideways here and let them go. Just barely spread them and it'll let them go. Then you put it right back in when you're done. So we do it again. Thumbs on, fingers, pull up. There's our briquette. Turn it, open it, done. Now, we'll get the rest of these out and get them all put in the kiln, and then we'll be back to do the burn test to see how these guys burn. All right, guys, so it's time for the burn test on the grass briquettes. I can't believe how tight these things came out. They weigh nothing, but they're super dense. Like even pushing on them, they feel super dense. So let's get these in here. Now, by the way, it is right now 102. So that's when we're starting our burn test here. Ain't got much of a coal bed going, but that's okay. Hopefully it doesn't snuff it out. We'll give it a minute to catch. And I also want to see how well these catch. Honestly, I hope that they just take off. Grass is not known to do much. It usually just like smolders before it starts to actually burn. But even burning, it doesn't actually burn good. It just turns into coals. So it might be the perfect substrate for briquettes. I don't know. I can tell you right off the bat, she's starting to smoke. Probably not the best of things. I gotta say, this is one of the ones I'm more interested to see how it turns out. It actually formed up a briquette way better than I was anticipating it would. They're definitely taking off. I'm pretty impressed. Let's close it up some, not all the way, just to increase the draw. Now mind you, today guys, it's raining outside, so there's a certain level of moisture in the air. So that probably will affect it just slightly, but not enough that I think it would really matter. Yeah, they're starting to take off good now. Now we will be setting the stove to halfway as soon as they take off here. And then I don't want to drag this out, so I will be putting you guys on time lapse and we will see how it turns out. Let's get that closed up. Make sure it starts to gasify a little bit on the top, which it is. You can see that flickering flame on the top, guys. This unit has pipes in it that gasifies. It basically reburns the gases coming out the chimney. Let's get you guys on time lapse. Alright guys, so it's been almost an hour. I don't know if you can see that, it's 1:55. But this has been disappointing. Check this out. It hasn't even hit the 300-degree range. I don't know why it's not. The stove itself is only about 200 degrees at most spots. All right, now if we open it up, we're getting 600 and 700 degrees. 700 degrees there. Here's 500, 600, and then high. So we're getting the heat. But the problem is the BTU, guys. Now, mind you, these are still together, but it's the BTU. So, doing some research, pelletized large blade grass, which this is just regular grass, per pound in the pellet form is something like 7,000 BTU. Now most wood is like 8, 7.5, 8, 9. But doing it this way, the dried grass I put in there, I bet you that stuff didn't even weigh like a quarter pound. So we can only ram so much grass into this. So theoretically, you're talking about like a quarter pound of grass maybe in there. That's not enough BTU to heat the stove up. Now, this is running the stove in an unsafe environment. So while I want to know the length of the burn, I think it's more important we stay in the safe zone when we're burning on these tests. So my plan is to turn it all the way up and see what we can get. I know it will alter the amount of time these burn, but we're not burning in the safe zone. No one would want to do this because it'll just gum up all your pipe. So let's go ahead and turn it all the way up. Okay. And then I'll set you back on time lapse. We'll check back in a half an hour and see how much they've burnt down and see if the stove has heated up to a recommended burning temperature. Alright guys, so it's been another half an hour. So let's take a look here. It has not gotten above 200 degrees according to the thermostat on top of the stove, and the stove itself is only registering about 230 by the door and about 190 up above. Now I have it turned all the way up. Let's see what happens here. So, I mean, they're still there, but there's, well, maybe not. That one still has some to it, but, I mean, basically, these aren't even putting out very much heat, honestly. You know, it says high, which means 700 degrees, but as you can see inside there, there's not very much heat. It's at like 500 degrees, but it's not transferring out. There's just not enough BTU in grass if it's not compacted in. Honestly, the compression that we can get out of this will not create enough actual biomass in there to create enough BTU to heat up the stove. So even though it burns for a pretty long time, it doesn't put out enough heat to warrant being worthwhile. So I think we should probably wrap this one up here. And I think we can pretty much say that for briquette making, grass is superiorly, inefficient, and it's not a good biomass to use. But you don't learn unless you try. Honestly, if I could find a source of a more broad leaf, then that might have slightly more BTU, but I don't even know that it's worthwhile. I do have some ideas in the future to make logs and big pellets, so we might try this again in the future under those conditions, to where we can put way more into a very small area and see what we can get out of it. There's just no way you can compress any more grass into this in order to up the BTU. When you think about it, we made all these briquettes and it probably doesn't have a quarter pound of grass in it. They're just, you'd have to force it under such pressure into such a small area in order to make it worthwhile, like pellets. But I do appreciate you guys watching. If you'd enjoyed this, please go down, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you see all of our upcoming videos. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. There is more briquette and burning videos coming. I've got a whole bunch of them lined up for you guys, so make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next one.